Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Motordrome Speedway. This evening, we proudly present the NASCAR Whelen All-American Series 5 divisions strong. Before we begin our racing program, as always, we ask that each and every one of you please rise up from your seats. Gentlemen, remove your caps, and if you are moving around the Speedway grounds, we ask that you pause with us momentarily for our opening ceremonies. Joining us this evening from the New Stanton United Methodist Church with our invocation is Mr. Ray Kaiser. And performing the national anthem for us this evening, Miss Heather Hamill. Mr. Kaiser?
Thank you, Mike. Dear Lord, we thank you for the many blessings that you so freely give us, Lord. Beautiful evenings, Friday nights, and races. Lord God, I just pray that you watch over each of us, all the racers tonight, all the people in the pits, all the people in the stands, Lord God. Guard our hearts, Lord God, protect us and watch over us. We pray in your Jesus' name, amen.
Please remain standing for the singing of our national anthem by Heather Hamill.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Championship points are on the line for all heat races at Motordrome Speedway, and there's the green flag. The Charger Division's only 2 repeat winners of 2010, starting in row number 1. On several evenings, these 2 machines have been the fastest cars, although lately, Denny Keller has shown tremendous promise. They are side by side all the way through turns 3 and 4, 2 youngsters, 2 sophomore drivers, and it will be Zane Farrell leading lap number 1 officially by inches at the scoring line. John Scott pulls into 3rd, Ed Sheltman 4th, but look at this lead battle. The 2 biggest winners, 2 of the most popular drivers, side by side for now a full 2 laps around the half-mile oval, and Farrell nearly completing the pass for the lead. He has the entire R&R service Monte Carlo out in front of Ettling at the moment, but using the high lane, Ettling hoping to battle back and now losing another car length down the back straight. Farrell in car 14, a repeat winner this season and a repeat winner in his rookie season last year. Shocking as a rookie, as a matter of fact. As the crossed flags from the starter stand indicate halfway through heat race number 1 for the Pro Auto Supply Service Chargers. Challenge now for 3rd spot. John Scott from Lake Lynn and Ed Sheltman from Pittsburgh going door to door on the front straight. Both of those drivers seeking career first feature victories. Sheltman, a graduate of the 4-cylinder super compact division and a rookie to the Chargers last year. part of a racing family, as his son is now competing in the 4-cylinder class. Looking to the inside of Scott in the battle for third. Here comes Sheltman to the inside. White flag signals final lap, and Sheltman makes a miscue on the bottom of the speedway in car 20. Scott will hold on to the third position. Down the back straight, the final time. Current points leader, 3-time feature winner. Looking for his 5th heat race checkered flag of 2010. And Zane Farrell will win heat number 1 over Kristen Etling, John Scott, Ed Sheltman, and Bob Garchak Jr. Christoffel, he's second in the point standings, but yet to claim a feature victory. Green flag is out. 6 more laps for the Pro Auto Supply Service Chargers. Six laps the distance, and Denny Keller opens up a big lead. He is third in the championship standings. Battle for second finds McConnell and Minjock racing very close together. Then Christoffel in the 04 from Jefferson Hills looking to advance into third spot. He is second in the championship points chase. And how about this? Coming into tonight, the 04 of Christoffel, despite not visiting victory lane, he is only 14 points behind the driver of car number 14, Zane Farrell, in the championship standings. Last week's feature winner, Ron Eifert III, falls back to the tail. That shows you how equal this field of Chargers really is. The Pro Auto Supply Service Chargers are 8-cylinder rear-wheel drive street passenger cars, modified only for driver safety and competing on street tires. Their feature event this evening will be 15 laps in distance after we wave the checkered flag over this 6-lap heat event. Denny Keller opening up a huge lead over Ed McConnell in the 48. McConnell nearly destroyed a car here just about 3 weeks ago with an unbelievable impact to the inside retaining wall on the back straight. White flag signals final lap. The driver from a racing family, often 3 cars strong in the Pro Auto Supply Service Chargers. Coming out of turn number 4, and a 5th heat race win of the season for Denny Keller over Ed McConnell, Jimmy Christoffel, Ron Eifert III, and Al Minjock. Jefferson Hills, 17, JR is the rookie at Motordrome, JP Weiser. The 18, the flying fireman, Billy Rebar. Green flag is out. Rebar and Hoffman drift way up the speedway there in turns 1 and 2, but up front, Gary Scott, the veteran, in car 16, taking a position away from Brian Shipp in the 40, and will lead lap number 1. The Swissvale Music number 16 of Scott, twice in victory lane this year after an unprecedented shutout from victory lane in 2009. Great to see Scott back to winning form, and speaking of winning, that's what Brian Shipp did last season for the first time in this division. As a graduate of the Chargers, he rides in second. Hoffman has made a great recovery here with only 2 laps in. He's in the 3rd spot after that miscue on the start. 3 cars have pulled away from the rest of this field. It's Scott, Shipp, and then Hoffman, who's closing quickly in the 96 machine. Lonnie Hoffman, the hometown hero, a street stock graduate, in 3rd spot. With the Duke of Oil, Bruce's Kids World, Scrinny's Automotive number 96. Crossed flags indicate halfway through heat race number 1 for the Wyotech Madhouse Modifieds. Gary Scott, Brian Shipp, and Lonnie Hoffman, the top three. Hoffman has a feature win this season, as does Scott. Shipp looking for his first feature win of 2010. Brian Shipp, second on the racetrack, does have a pair of heat race victories to his credit this season. Third place driver Hoffman, the king of the heat races in 2010, unprecedented 5 wins on the season, as there are 2 laps to go. Best battle will be for second. Hoffman less than a car length off the rear bumper of the 40 of Brian Shipp. Brian, the younger of the Shipp Racing brothers here at Motordrome Speedway, both in the Wyotech Modifieds. Final time around, and the driver from Irwin, Pennsylvania, picking up his second heat race win. Gary Scott matching his 2 feature wins with a pair of preliminaries, getting that checkered flag over Brian Shipp, Lonnie Hoffman, Troy Knight, and J.P. Weiser in the points in 0-4 from Elizabeth, PA. Rookie Pat Hanley in car 60. Rookie Jonathan Heilman in car 15. And the green flag is out. 8 more laps of open wheel thrills with the Wyotech Modifieds. Battle for third finds rookie Pat Hanley, who has led twice in feature racing so far this season, bringing the Viglione Racing entry around Lemley into third, while the early race leader is Chris Brink, last week's feature winner, the only driver to score 3 victories in the Modifieds in 2010. He's opening up a lead over the 00 of Adam Kostelnik. Kostelnik on the heels of 6 track championships behind the wheel of the 60, now steering the HB Motorsports 00 with his former ride right in the rear view mirror. Rookie Pat Hanley in the 60 closes in on Kostelnik. This is the battle for second behind leader Chris Brink. And Kostelnik a little bit slow out of turn 4 that time. Hanley pulls right up to him. Pat Hanley of Monroeville, Pennsylvania, the dirt track stock car ace, a rookie to modifieds, a rookie to paved track racing, closing in on 6-time champ Kostelnik. Bobby Shipp, the second place driver in the championship standings, is right there with these 2 drivers, as Chris Brink is manhandling this field in the 3. Working lap 4 of 8. Mike Lemley in the 93 is a sophomore driver behind this group. The 15 of Jonathan Heilman, a rookie to modifieds. And the battle for second looks to heat up once again. Hanley nearly making rear bumper contact with Kostelnik. You'd have to believe there's some kind of a rivalry there after Kostelnik leaves that team after 6 championship seasons. And now that orange machine is right behind him. Both drivers yet to win a feature in 2010 after the split of the most dominant modified team in Western Pennsylvania history. White flag signals final lap. Leading the points by 10 coming into tonight's racing action. The driver known as the Glenn Campbell Gambler in car 3, headed out of turn 4, picking up his 3rd heat race win of the season, Chris Brink. In second by inches, it's Adam Kostelnik over Pat Hanley, with Bobby Shipp in 4th and Mike Lemley, the former Charger champion, finishing 5th. Shawn Phillips of Jefferson, PA in car 31. Dustin Blank in 94, rookie Tom Durdovich in 23. Last week's winner Teddy Gabala in 3, and rookie Terry Schwartz in the 03. Hey, we're 3 wide. On the start, a scary exit to turn number 2, and down the back straight, we're still 3 wide. Phillips on the bottom making his first official start after the 31 car burst into flames on practice opening night. The former champion now, and we got a problem. Tom Durdovich in the 23 car locks up the brakes there. Green flag stays out. It's now Phillips to the inside of Dustin Blank. That's the side-by-side battle for third, with Jason Holder in second and race leader Andrew Kostelnik, who was leading the point standings just a couple weeks ago with one feature victory. Just behind this group, the three of Teddy Gabala, who became the only repeat winner in the Napa Street Stocks in 2010. No other division can boast that it took until mid-June to find a repeat winner. That's how competitive the Napa Street Stocks have been. And tonight, for their crown jewel event of the season, it's about a 5-car battle for the lead right now. Nobody's more than a car length separation from each other. And Phillips in car 31, who has had a string of opening night disasters about the last 3 seasons long, makes his return for the big event tonight and is quickly challenging Kostelnik for the lead. Shawn Phillips, the 2008 Napa Street Stock champion. Andrew Kostelnik, the former Jennerstown champion in 57. They're door to door, but only briefly, as it seems that Phillips makes a quick pass for the top spot. His first official start in a heat race, and Phillips muscles his way to the front early. Working lap 5 of 8, Andrew Kostelnik is second. Here comes Dustin Blank, looking to challenge what seems to be a loose handling 57 car. Blank, a feature winner last year, looking for his first checkered flag of 2010. Behind them, side by side, Teddy Gabala trying to move inside of Jason Holder, and Gabala will reach the scoring line on lap 6 to climb into 4th spot officially. Gabala from Coulter, Pennsylvania, the only repeat winner in the division. And how about that? The guy with the most feature wins, mired back in 4th in a heat race. Equal fields here in the Street Stocks and Chargers as the white flag signals final lap to Phillips. The veteran from Jefferson, Pennsylvania in car 31. His last few opening nights have resulted in motor failure, crashes, and fires in practice, and now his first start of 2010 in late June, he picks up a checkered flag in the heat race over Andrew Kostelnik, Dustin Blank, Teddy Gabala, and Jason Holder. From Allison Park in car 18, points leader Scott Aiello in 00, Bill Ashton in 35, green flag is out. Another 8-lap preliminary event for the Napa Auto Parts Street Stocks. Tonight's feature, 35 laps in distance, and Tom Knight Sr. moves to the outside, stealing the lead away from feature winner this season, Dink Colarusso in the 0. Knight dirt tracks the car a little through turns 1 and 2. That allows Colarusso to get the nose of that Pontiac Grand Prix ever so close to the lead. In turn 3, it looks like Colarusso may pull off the pass. The defending champion back up front once again, and we have our second lead change on lap 2. Points leader Scott Aiello, by all accounts a rookie, moves into 3rd spot with the 00. Winner on opening night in his 5th career Street Stock start. Then back in 4th, Bill Ashton from Hopwood in car 35. Here comes a battle for 2nd. Knight drifts up the racetrack, and Scott Aiello, the White Oak, Pennsylvania driver, diving to the inside, trying to maintain his points lead as points are on the line for heat races. And Knight is back to 3rd at the midpoint of this event. Crossed flags shown to the field. 4 down and 4 to go. Greensburg's Dink Colarusso up front. Driver who dominated the win column last season en route to that championship. This a former Jennerstown Speedway championship car for the veteran. Took him a while to learn the handling of this machine after it was brought out of mothballs. Scott Aiello in the 00 in 2nd position. Upset win here on opening night. Then Tom Knight, Bill Ashton, and hanging on to a top 5 spot in his return, Jeff Zellweger, after a violent crash about 4 or 5 weeks ago. Lead interval remaining constant between Dink Colarusso and Scott Aiello. Colarusso with years and years of street stock racing experience. Aiello with now about 12 starts. White flag, this is the last time around. Challenge for third as Ashton and Knight are trading paint. The two most senior drivers in this field waging a war for third spot down the back straight. Into turn 3, it looks like Ashton may pull off third position, but at the checkered flag, a challenge for the lead. Dink Colarusso wins by a fender over Scott Aiello, and Bill Ashton takes third by a fender over Tom Knight for Pennsylvania. And Dave Wiltsey from Clarksburg, West Virginia in 28. Green flag is out. 10 laps the distance for the NASCAR Subway Super Late Models. Paul Urso and Chris Bailey Jr. side by side at the front of this field. Rick Miller and Tommy Beck side by side behind them. Very close racing at the front of this field. Urso will lead the first lap by inches. Urso, a former modified winner who graduated to the NASCAR Subway Super Late Models. He found victory lane once in his career running a part-time schedule with us here at Motordrome in car 37. Outside of him, the Taylor Machine Chevrolet number 17 of Chris Bailey Jr. Bailey races with the nationally traveling ARCA Truck Series when not here at Motordrome Speedway in the 17 car. Rick Miller in car 18, the new driver of the Hemphill Racing entry. Miller takes the second spot away. 3 times a champion at Motordrome is Miller. Former Clearfield champion and former ASA national traveler into second spot behind race leader Paul Urso. Working lap 4 of 10, Tommy Beck slides into the third position. Feature winner 2 weeks ago in car 60. Mark Poole in the 96 will be the next driver to challenge Chris Bailey Jr. for a top position. And look at Beck trying to find racing room on the inside of the front straight to make a pass of Rick Miller's 18 car. Halfway through this heat race, 5 laps down, 5 to go, and Beck looking for a way to pass Rick Miller on the inside. He finally gets the preferred lane, and they are door to door. Miller officially holds on to that spot at the scoring line, allowing Paul Urso to escape with a 3 or 4 car length lead. Beck will try once again the low lane in turn 3. And out of turn 4, he's got his best run on Miller so far. Nearly a dead heat at the scoring line that time. Urso not getting too far away from this battle for second. Mark Poole looming in the 4th position right behind these drivers. Tommy Beck, the former Jennerstown Speedway champion, a dirt track winner on Saturday nights at Pennsylvania Motor Speedway. Here on Fridays, Beck steers the Benz Motorsports, Stans Transmissions Monarch Oil Chevrolet. To the inside of the Hemphill Racing Chevrolet, now piloted by Rick Miller, and they are still door to door. White flag signals final lap for Paul Urso. A very close 4th is the Howard Concrete Pumping Chevrolet of Mark Poole. And picking up a first heat race win of the season coming out of turn 4 in car 37, Paul Urso from Glenshaw. Rick Miller by inches grabs the 2nd position over Tommy Beck with Mark Poole in 4th and Chris Bailey Jr. in 5th. Winner Barry Audi in 75, Michael Zombar in 64. Green flag is out. Great to see Hunker, Pennsylvania's Michael Zombar back on track after a devastating crash. At the front of the field, Will Trout takes off with an early lead, but a heated battle in the middle of the pack. Steve Black, Matt Gardner, Bobby Henry very close out of turn 4. Last week's winner Barry Audi is right there in this 4-car battle. And Black will pull away with 3rd position, leaving Audi and Gardner door to door. Here comes Bobby Henry right up under the rear bumper of the rookie. Gardner not wavered by that pressure from the former champion, but now feeling the pressure of John Komarinsky in 33. Komarinsky has made only a couple of starts this season, but they have both been very impressive. He is now alongside Bobby Henry with Matt Gardner solidly in 5th position. The Duke of Ruffsdale as a super late model rookie holding off 2 veterans. Gardner leaped up the NASCAR ladder from a Charger championship all the way to the super late model division. Oh, we're going to be nearly 3 wide. Gardner makes a great save out of turn 2 after that car broke loose. And we've got a battle for the lead up front, headed down the front straight. Gary Wiltrout in car 95 on lap 4 of 10, trying to fight off the advances of Mark Catone. Catone, a winner this season 2 times with 3 track championships under his belt. Wiltrout, a Motordrome title and a Jennerstown championship on his resume. Crossed flags signal to the leaders, 5 laps down and 5 to go. Wiltrout driving the Stone & Company, Scottdale Lumber, Megan Ford for Palagrudo Racing, trying to hold off Mark Catone in the Auto Express Transportation, Mama Pepino's Pizza, Chevrolet number 31. Catone fishtails the car. Another great save coming out of turn 2. Sunlight still beating down on turn 2, causing a slick racing surface as a couple of drivers have made masterful saves, and Wiltrout now with a big lead after that miscue by Catone. Hard to call it a mistake when he keeps that car off the wall after getting so sideways. In third spot, it's Steve Black all by himself, having a career best season in spite of a crash on the front straight last Friday night. The Baker race cars of Akron, Ohio, number 1 for the former truck division champion. Then it's Henry and Audi completing the top 5. Audi, last week's unlikely winner from 13th starting spot. White flag is waving and the lead battle tightens up just a little once again. Catone will have 4 more corners to recover from that slide out of turn 2, and he does so nicely that time, launching onto the back straight, just a car length or so separating them now into turn 3. Final time, and headed to the start-finish line. A checkered flag for Gary Wiltrout, his 2nd heat race win of the season over Mark Catone, Steve Black, Bobby Henry, and Barry Audi. Rookies up front in car 22. It will be John Simsick outside the 38 of June Mihalik. 25, another rookie, Mike George. 44, 2-time heat race winner, Mary Catherine Shimko. 19 is Crystal Aller. Ben Stahl is the driver moving into 2nd spot, a rookie in car 37. Rookie leading, that's June Mihalik. Rookie 3rd, that's Mike George. The only veteran is the teenager, Mary Catherine Shimko in 44. She's got 2 heat race wins on the season, and she's closing in on George for a battle for 3rd position. So June Mihalik leading, Ben Stahl in 2nd, Mike George in 3rd, all rookies. And Mary Catherine Shimko making contact with Mike George, stealing the 3rd position away. 22 of John Simsick, also a rookie. Female drivers 1st, 3rd, and 6th on the Speedway in the Coca-Cola Super Compacts. June Mihalik up front. Ben Stahl in 2nd, making his 2nd Motordrome start. And Mary Catherine Shimko, the double duty driver who was out here in the Chargers, in 3rd and closing in just a bit, it would seem, on Stahl. Crystal Aller in the 19, the other female driver. White flag signals final lap. We're about to have a first-time heat race winner, it would appear. Shimko now diving to the inside, trying to challenge Stahl for 2nd spot. A banner season for Shimko, in spite of the fact that she has 2 responsibilities each and every Friday in 2 different divisions. And coming out of turn 4 in the DeWitt Enterprises Dodge Daytona, 1st heat race win for the rookie, June Mihalik. takes the checkered flag over Ben Stahl, Mary Catherine Shimko, Mike George, and a top 5 finish for John Simsek. 6 laps the distance for the Coca-Cola Super Compacts. Green flag is out. The only 2 long time. Oh, we got a spin as Sean Rich goes around off the front bumper of the 9 of Dakota Stambaugh. 14 of Caveman Keffer got into the inside wall in that incident. Sean Rich is stopped on the speedway, but shouldn't have too much damage to that machine. Caution flag will wave. Stambaugh, the rookie in car 9. Green flag is out. 6 laps the distance for the Coca-Cola Super Compacts. Caveman Kevin Keffer out to the early lead in car 14. Jessica Knight in second. Kyle Komarinsky in third. And there's that host of rookies now. Rookies going 3 wide into turn number 3 with Grubbs on the inside, Stambaugh in the middle, Komarinsky on the outside. Make that the way outside. Headed out of turn 4 is the 33 car. And a problem for Komarinsky's Chevrolet Beretta drifting up high in turn 1. Look at Grubbs in the 62 car. Hasn't looked like a rookie all season long as he's closing in on Knight and Keffer. Knight makes a bid for the lead on the inside. Great night for you lady racers. Jessica in 76 to the inside of Keffer. They're going to make slight contact in turns 1 and 2, but on lap 2 of 6, Jessica Knight just about ready to complete the pass for the lead when Keffer powers back on the outside. Glued together door to door through turn 3. Now Knight will become the official leader on lap 3 of 6 over Keffer, Grubbs, Stambaugh, and Rich. Oh yes, it's ladies' night here at the Motordrome Speedway. Keffer in second, about to feel the pressure from Grubbs and Stambaugh in the 9. Stambaugh taking some serious chances here tonight in heat racing action. Throws it in there to pick up the 3rd spot. Jessica Knight opening up a lead over Caveman Keffer and Dakota Stambaugh. Stambaugh hard on the gas, hard on the brakes. That's a fun ride to watch tonight in car 9. Grubbs in 62 hangs on to 4th spot. Final time around the speedway. How about it, ladies? Race win. Over 3 cars at the line for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. For compacts, Paul Koffler the 3rd in 48, Paul Koffler Jr. in 05. Eugene Zerfoss in 23, Mark Trinches Jr. in 47, Bill Schwartz in 31. Several feature winners in this heat race, including the 05 of Koffler, last week's winner, who's out to the lead over his son in car 48. 47 of Trinches, 31 of Schwartz, each got their first career wins in 2010 as well. Zerfoss, the veteran, there in 3rd spot, challenging for 2nd now. Last week's winner, Paul Koffler Jr., picked up a win in the Cody Quarrick Racing number 9, which was renumbered 05. And now back to his father's 05 car. He leads his son, if you can follow all of that. 48 is Paul Koffler the 3rd. Eugene Zerfoss, the hillbilly, in car 23. Surrounded by all these young drivers, including the 31 of Schwartz. Championship contender this season is that McKeesport teenager. 47 of Tringes, who got his first win. And we're going to be 3 wide in turn 3 again. Koffler the 3rd in the middle, Zerfoss on the bottom, and now Schwartz is going to try and sneak through the middle. contact made between Schwartz and Zerfoss. A nice save made there. Mark Tringes Jr. in 47. Looking to the inside of points leader Bill Schwartz. Four of 6 laps completed. Tringes in 47 makes big time contact with the 31 of Schwartz. They were beating on each other all the way through turn 2. Let's see if it continues in turn 3. White flag, final lap around. It's a huge lead for last week's feature winner Koffler up front. All the action is this battle for third between Schwartz and Tringes, with Zerfoss all by himself in second spot. And picking up his third heat race win of the season from West Leisenring, Pennsylvania, Paul Koffler Jr. over Eugene the Hillbilly Zerfoss, Mark Tringes Jr., Bill Schwartz, and Paul Koffler III. Race in the Pro Auto Supply Service Chargers. First feature of the night, green flag is out, and we're up to full speed. Al Minjock, the early race leader, over Ed McConnell. Ed Sheltman making a pass to the inside for third, trying to steal that spot away from John Scott. Scott slams the door on him. And then Christoffel and Eifert are side by side. Up front, Ed McConnell in 48. Member of that Dustin Blank racing gang. His former teammate Ed Neidhart showed him the ropes. And now McConnell streaks to the inside of Minjock's 41 car. New race leader, the DeWitt Enterprises Monte Carlo of Ed McConnell. He steals a spot away from the Motordrome Ride and Drive program Chevy Malibu 41 of Minjock, who's way off the pace after a miscue. The entire field is storming by after Minjock nearly collected the outside wall. Now in second spot, it's the 04 of Jimmy Christoffel. In third, the 71 of John Scott. 3 wide into turn 4, and some contact made there as Minjock continues to slow. Sheltman now can openers the inside lane from Scott, but he's got Farrell to his inside. Wisely, Farrell jumped on the brakes to avoid 3 wide. Now Scott's off the pace. Keller's in the grass. Eifert makes contact. Oh my. 4 laps are completed, and the fun has just started in the Pro Auto Supply Service Chargers. Kristen Ettling moves to the outside of John Scott now on the back straight. This is the battle for 5th, and she will take that spot away. Denny Keller, who was agriculturally racing through turns 3 and 4 last lap, now gaining a spot around the outside of Scott. Battle for 3rd now heads down the back straight. Ed Sheltman in the 20, trying to fend off points leader and 3-time winner Zane Farrell in the 14. Door to door they go through turn 3. Leaders have checked out on this battle by almost a full straightaway after that chaos. And Farrell will pick up the position, sending Sheltman back into 4th. Kristen Ettling is 5th. It's Ed McConnell, the race leader, by about 7 or 8 car lengths over Jimmy Christoffel. And those drivers have nearly a 1/5 of a mile between themselves and Zane Farrell now in 3rd. Working lap 7 of 15. Side by side, it's Ettling and Keller now. Ettling 4th in the championship standings. Keller 3rd in the championship standings. Sheltman in 20, just in front of those drivers. He's just outside the top 10 in the standings, riding in 11th. We're halfway through this feature already. Crossed flags for leader Ed McConnell. This battle for 4th, now 3 cars strong. Keller in 13, Ettling in 8, Sheltman in 20. And look at Ettling going 3 wide on the high side, deliberately holding the lane and trying to pick up ground at the same time. That is tight racing action in the Chargers, and we're going to do it again in turn 2. Unbelievable action, battles for top 5 positions, remaining 3 wide. Sheldman now loses a couple of spots and is going to feel the pressure of last week's winner, Eifert. But now it's Keller in 4th, Ettling in 5th. And in the center of the back straight, the lead battle is tightening up, now headed into turn 3. The 48 of Ed McConnell looking for a career first win. The 04 of Jimmy Christoffel looking for his first win of the season. Christoffel has been a model of consistency. He's second in the championship standings, only 14 points behind a 3-time feature winner. Christoffel gets that car sideways as they approach the 51 of Mary Catherine Shimko. This time there will be only 3 laps to go, and McConnell's lead is about 3 car lengths or just a little more. McConnell, a resident of Butler County, and Christoffel slides the car once again entering the back straight. That could have sealed the first win of McConnell's career, as Christoffel has about 4 or 5 car lengths to make up now. Zane Farrell, the points leader, in 3rd. Denny Keller in 4th, Kristen Ettling in 5th. And that time, Christoffel gained big time into turn 1, but dirt tracked the car again in turn 2. Now McConnell made a miscue, and Christoffel closes up again. A slick, hot racing surface baking in the sun still through this Charger feature. And at the white flag, it was Christoffel who gained several car lengths last lap in turn 1. Can he do it again? Monte Carlo leading an Oldsmobile. Could be a first-time winner from the DeWitt Enterprises Racing Stable. Christoffel making rear bumper contact on the final lap. It will be a first win for someone of 2010. It's the first win of a career. Ed McConnell takes the checkered flag over Jimmy Christoffel, Zane Farrell, Denny Keller, and Kristen Ettling. Well, Ed McConnell, here's a Subway gift certificate for you. Before we talk about tonight's race, I want to ask you about 3-4 weeks ago, the car left here in terrible shape, and I have to believe that this is a completely different machine. Let's talk first about the accident and what you had to do to get this car ready.
The accident was just a racing thing. It happened. Car's junk. Put the motor in the backup car, and there she is.
Now let's talk about this team. You had a teammate win a first career heat race tonight. How are all these folks connected, and where's Ed Neidhart?
Ed Neidhart is unofficially retired. Dustin, me and him are business partners. June's my girl. The 3 of us make a good team.
An excellent team tonight, as a matter of fact. Now let's talk about this race. That track looked awfully slick. You were sliding. Jimmy Christoffel is sliding. Did this seem like the kind of night that you could go to victory lane with a loose handling car?
Like you said, everyone was loose. Everybody I saw in my mirror was loose. Every time I screwed up, I looked behind me, they were screwing up too, so I'll take it.
You will take it. It was an exciting one for the fans, and how about a chance to thank the sponsors and crew?
Oh yeah, DeWitt Enterprises, Whitefire Logistics, and the crew, Mark, he just does a phenomenal job on all 3 cars every week. He doesn't get a day off. And it's just a good team effort, and we did it.
For the first time in his career, ladies and gentlemen, winning in the Pro Auto Supply Service Chargers, Ed McConnell. We have 25 laps. Will we see a brand new winner this season? Green flag is out. Into turn 1, we're 3 wide for the lead. Kostelnik in the middle of the rookies, and he shoots through for the lead. Here comes Pat Hanley trying a 60. Oh, unbelievable. The 60 car tried to go 3 wide, then thought better of it, but lost several positions once he jammed the brake pedal. We were 3 wide on the front straight briefly with Gary Scott. It's Troy Knight side by side with J.P. Weiser. They were the anchor for those repeated 3 wide attempts there, and Weiser hangs on to second. He was last year's Rookie of the Year at Lake Erie Speedway. Knight, a graduate of the 4 cylinders, now trying to hold off Lonnie Hoffman and Gary Scott. Knight with a rear view mirror full of blue here on lap 2. Weiser all by himself in second. This heated battle for third, fourth, and fifth. It's Troy Knight, Lonnie Hoffman, Gary Scott, and even Chris Brink now joining this battle with Pat Hanley in the 60 car. Racing very close together, wheel to wheel, Scott and Hoffman. And now Scott gets his bumper just inside of Troy Knight, but cannot complete the pass. Look at Lonnie Hoffman with a great run on the outside. Troy Knight in car 71. In jeopardy of losing third position, a masterful high side pass by Hoffman. Now here comes Mr. High Side. The Glenn Campbell gambler, Chris Brink, is on the move. He's passed Hanley, Scott, and now Knight, all in the same lap to climb into fourth. Five of 25 laps are completed. Pat Hanley in the 60 and the 04 of Bobby Shipp now wheel to wheel on the back straight. That battle outside the top 5 positions. Shipp got way too high that time in turn 4, and they remain wheel to wheel down the front straight. Battle for second develops now. Lonnie Hoffman very quickly shot to the inside of J.P. Weiser after making that outside pass of Knight. Now he passes young Weiser for second on the inside, so Hoffman's car handling everywhere he puts it. Building up a big lead as a result of all of that position fighting, it's Adam Kostelnik of East McKeesport in car 00. Three cars fighting for second, third, and fourth, with Chris Brink so far in this event, the man on the move with Lonnie Hoffman. Brink reels into the 17 junior car. J.P. Weiser, good friends of the Chris Bailey family racing team, sharing car numbers. Brink in car 3, the division's only 3-time winner. Weiser looking for a career first, and now a 2-time winner. Gary Scott pulls dead even with Brink down the front straight. Working lap 9 after Brink looked to be the man on the move. He has now lost several car lengths to Weiser and has Gary Scott nipping at his heels. Up front, it's Adam Kostelnik in the 00. Then Lonnie Hoffman, the hometown hero. Then J.P. Weiser here on lap 10 over Chris Brink and Gary Scott. Battle for 6th, it's Pat Hanley in the 60 headed down the middle of the backstretch. With the 04 of Bobby Shipp to his outside. Shipp with many feature victories the last 3 seasons. Hanley looking for his first. Now driving for the 6-time champion team Viglione Racing. It's lap 11, and Hanley has led feature laps this season. Shipp has a win in 2010. Chris Brink now muscles his way around J.P. Weiser for the 3rd position. Weiser nearly lost the handle there and finds now Gary Scott to his inside after making a great save. Weiser held off Brink for quite a while, and when Brink muscled open the door, Weiser had to gather it up, and that opened the inside lane for Gary Scott. Scott now looking to complete that pass into turn 3, and he will. The veteran moves around the Motordrome rookie. And here on lap 14 of 25, Lonnie Hoffman has chopped into the lead of Adam Kostelnik in a big way. Kostelnik had opened up several car lengths as those drivers battled for second, third, and fourth. Now Hoffman is steadily gaining inches on race leader Adam Kostelnik. Kostelnik not only 6 straight championships, but 6 straight years of being the dominant feature winner. And here in mid-June, yet to find victory lane with his new HB Motorsports team, a brand new chassis configuration for them, a brand new team was formed. And tonight, looking as if perhaps they are poised to finally reach victory lane. Lonnie Hoffman, however, appears to be logging quicker lap times here as we are working lap 16 of 25. Chris Brink may be gaining on both of those drivers after starting deep in this field. Last week's winner has climbed into 3rd. Lonnie Hoffman made an outside pass and did it impressively once he was inside the top 5. Will he look to the outside of Kostelnik now? Hoffman, who got his first win in the division early in 2009. He became a repeat winner last season. And look at Brink now, trying to move to the inside as Hoffman looked outside of Kostelnik. Brink through the 3 car to the bottom lane. Just what Kostelnik may need to maintain his lead is a fierce battle for second between Brink and Hoffman. Now all 3 cars are converging on turn 3 at roughly the same time. Brink to the inside of Hoffman and pulling up to the rear bumper of Kostelnik all at the same time. 5 laps remaining. And there's contact. Brink down to the bottom, and Kostelnik in the 0-0 will spin with 5 to go. Brink then spins in turn 2 after the incident. Modified season in car 60. 5 laps to go. Green flag is out. Keep an eye on the back of the field. There's more contact between Kostelnik and Brink on the back straight. Points leader goes around again, and we're going to need a second caution flag. Inside, 4 laps remaining. Hanley from 3rd and Weiser from 4th take the green flag. Bobby Shipp is there in 5th. Troy Knight in the 5th spot. It's Shipp in 6th, and Kostelnik trying to gain positions back after the caution flag incidents. Hoffman is now all by himself up front with Gary Scott losing a spot to Pat Hanley in the 60. 3 laps to go, and the rookie is in 2nd spot. Kostelnik and Brink marching their way back through the field. Kostelnik and Brink bumper to bumper at the back of the field. 2 laps to go. And there's something on the racetrack, it would appear, as 3 cars simultaneously slide toward the wall at the back of the pack. White flag is waving as Bobby Shipp blows the left front tire out of the 04 car and limps to the pit area. Final time around, can Pat Hanley win his first career feature? Will the hometown hero Lonnie Hoffman be a repeat winner for the 2nd year in a row? Out of turn number 4. Checkered flag for Lonnie Hoffman over Pat Hanley, Gary Scott, J.P. Weiser, and Troy Knight. Lonnie, a Subway gift certificate for you. This division has become so incredibly competitive. You can be at the front of the feature one week and at the back of the field the next week. Tell us how you felt coming into a night where those Charger cars were sliding all over the racetrack. Was it slick for the modifieds as well?
Actually, it was. It was in hot laps and it was in the heat race, so we had to adjust for it. We tightened the car up, and it really worked out. The car was great.
You knocked down the door to victory lane last season. Are those adjustments the kind of things that were tough to learn coming out of the street stocks and into the modifieds?
Yeah, it was. You know what, I had a lot of help, and especially this year. I mean, we busted the car up real good about 4 weeks ago, and I just had a ton of help, and the help that I had is knowledge. And we made a lot of changes. Adam Kostelnik, Scott Ayala helped out, brother-in-law Dave Skrinny, Billy Rebar. I had a special thanks to Harry Ofer. You know, he's a modified racer. I mean, he's helped me out. I was on the phone with him 4 times tonight, you know, trying to make changes to the car. And, you know, it's help like that that's priceless, you know, that gets us here.
And how about a chance to thank the sponsors?
I got to thank Complete Car Company, Duke of Oil, Bruce's Kids World. He sells the ice cream up there. All you kids go see the ice cream man. Tell him his car won.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen, back in victory lane for the 2nd time. He's a multiple feature winner 2 years in a row, Lonnie Hoffman. $18.99 oil change. And we're set to go 35 laps for the Napa Street Stocks. Green flag is out. Jason Holder, the pole starter, is the early race leader with Bill Ashton in car 35 challenging. Aaron Minjock is to the outside of Holder now, and he's got a run on the leader. 2 by 2, the first 4 make it first 6 cars. Headed to the stripe to complete lap number 1. Aaron Minjock very close to the outside retaining wall, but maintains his position just inches out of the lead with Jason Holder to his inside. Bill Ashton, oh, we were nearly 3 wide in turn 4. Now Ashton climbing into second and right to the rear bumper of Jason Holder. Those 2 drivers are long-time street stock competitors. Aaron Minjock with just a couple of seasons under his belt after climbing out of the Chargers. Drifting high on the speedway is Minjock. He will lose 2 positions and gather it up before he hits the scoring line on lap 3. Still 3 wide as Minjock needs to get down a lane with the 34 car. Dustin Blank storms by. Andrew Kostelnik storms by. And up front, the leaders are bumper to bumper coming out of turn 4. Bill Ashton in 35, Jason Holder in 74. Contact entering turn 1. Both drivers continue on. Tom Knight Sr. is now in 3rd, but Teddy Gabala in car 3 looks to make a pass. Gabala, the only 2-time winner in this division. He is to the outside of Knight and will take away the 3rd spot as Ashton has a terrific run on Holder into turn 1. Ashton spiked the brake pedal to avoid contact, a gentleman move there as he could have taken the lead here on lap 5. But those 2 veterans know how to handle their Napa street stocks. Green flag stays out, Gabala gaining on the lead duo from 3rd, Knight in 4th, Blank in 5th. And we got a problem coming out of turn 4, Scott Aiello has a mechanical problem in the 00. That car is broken a rear end perhaps as the wheels are shifting under that body. Perhaps it's just a flat tire, and it is. The left rear tire has gone flat. It looked like it shifted the entire axle as he came out of turn 4. And Aiello, whose team told me earlier this season they had problems with body work digging into the rubber, he cuts down a left rear tire here on lap 6 of 35. Shawn Phillips, the former champion in 31 and 6, defending champion, Dink Colarusso in 7th, and we're green. Ashton challenging Holder for the lead, while Gabala challenges Ashton for 2nd. Holder with a car length and maybe a half advantage at the scoring line on lap 7, and Ashton so fast in turns 1 and 2 each lap there. He pulls right under the rear spoiler of Holder. Then in turn 4, Holder is able to increase his lead by about half a car length each lap. Look at Shawn Phillips in car 31 in his first start of the season, closing in on the lead trio. Gabala in 3 up front now. Nearly had the 2nd position pass completed just a second ago. He's door to door with Ashton on the front straight. There's action happening all over this speedway, but the battle for 2nd right now rages on, just a car length away from rear bumper of Jason Holder, the leader. It's not an official change for position till they reach the scoring line, so let's see if Gabala can inch the bumper ahead of Ashton as they begin to work lap number 10, and he does. Gabala is now in 2nd place, but only by inches, then makes a miscue in turns 1 and 2. Gabala drifts up the banking, and Ashton is back in 2nd spot all by himself. So much action happening everywhere on this speedway right now. Shawn Phillips, who was up to 4th, he made a miscue. He's back now to 5th with Tom Knight Sr. in 4th. Lead battle is still intense as well. Now without the threat of Gabala stealing 2nd position, can Ashton mount a more significant challenge? So race leader Holder in car 74. Working lap number 12 of 35, and car number 35 might have tried a little bit too hard to get under Holder that time. Gibala may be back to the second position where he was a few laps ago as Holder continues to lead. And indeed, by now a full car length, Gibala is the runner-up over Ashton. Shawn Phillips reclaims the fourth position from Tom Knight Sr., but the top three drivers are about 10 car lengths ahead of Phillips, with Ashton and Gibala still trying to determine who should take up chase of Jason Holder. Holder's number 74 car has been loose handling throughout much of 2010, so much so that the car's often hung out sideways as he approaches the straightaways. He's avoided any kind of an incident on his own so far in 2010, despite dirt tracking the car so often. Tonight, on what other drivers have described as a slick racetrack in Victory Lane, Holder's car seems to be handling better than it has all year. Gibala and Ashton right there with the leader. Holder the race leader over Gibala and Ashton, and Phillips once again joins this battle to make it 4 cars strong on lap 16. And we got a problem on the front straight. Dink Colarusso had a serious problem and gets tagged lightly by Tom Durdovich, who was on the brakes all the way out of turn 4. I didn't see what happened to Colarusso, but the car was making figure eights down the front straight, some kind of steering issue or front suspension problem for the driver who has a single victory this year after being the dominating winner of 2009. 18 of 35 laps completed. Jason Holder leading Teddy Gibala, Bill Ashton, Shawn Phillips, and Tom Knight. Ashton loses about a car length on that restart, and Gibala immediately looks to challenge Holder. We'll see if that caution flag was what the race leader needed to cool off his tires. Gibala very close to the rear bumper of Holder now, and we got a challenge for third. Shawn Phillips in 31, trading paint with the 35 of Ashton in turn number 2. Phillips pulls away with the third position now. It's Gibala in second, Holder the race leader, and the new driver in third is Shawn Phillips. And look at this fight for the lead into turn number 1. Lap 18 of 35. And Gibala is planted to the inside of Jason Holder for the race lead. The crown jewel event for the Napa Auto Parts Street Stocks. Shawn Phillips has quickly reeled in the lead duo. At the line, the new race leader by a fender on lap 19 is Teddy Gibala. But Holder not giving up yet, and Phillips right there with him. 3-car fight for the lead. Just past the midpoint of this extra distance special event for the Napa Auto Parts Street Stocks. Phillips now goes side by side with Holder and takes over second position. Gibala has 2 feature wins this season. Phillips has only 1 start in 2010, and that's tonight with a heat race win. Holder not falling too far back, but now feeling the pressure of Bill Ashton in 35. Three wide on the back straight, battling for the 6th position there. Scott Aiello is storming back up through this field. He has passed Aaron Minjock, he has passed Tom Knight, and now Knight trying to squeeze the bottom closed, but Minjock finds the opening and moves through. Andrew Kostelnik, also a driver marching up from a pit stop. He is now right near the rear bumper of Tom Knight Sr. Aiello could be the fastest car on the racetrack, as he is now in 6th position and closing quickly on the 94 of Dustin Blank. You've got to wonder, however, if a body panel blew out that left rear tire. Is that tire in jeopardy of being pierced once again before we reach lap 35? Teddy Gibala is the race leader. At the scoring line, we begin working lap 24. And Shawn Phillips is closing in on the race leader. He's closing in rather slowly, but gaining nonetheless on Gibala. Phillips, the former division champion, who's had a string of bad luck occurrences on Motordrome opening nights going back 3 or 4 straight years. He recovered from an opening night disaster to win that championship in '08. His car caught fire in an early afternoon practice session here in April of 2010, and this is his first night back at the Speedway. It's the biggest event of the year for his division. He won his heat, he's now in second, and on lap 26, he may now be losing ground to Gibala as that interval is either holding steady or perhaps growing for the young Coulter, Pennsylvania driver. Challenge for 5th now as Aiello in the 00 moves in on the 94 of Dustin Blank. Blank, comfortable in the middle groove of the Speedway, frees up the inside lane for Aiello. And Aiello takes his HP Motorsports entry to the bottom, then slides the car through turn 1 and 2. Blank will hang on to the position here on lap 27. Headed into turn 3, will Aiello try again on the bottom? Not enough to make a run for 5th position just yet at the line, or does he? No, it will be Blank by still a car length at the scoring line. In front of this pair, it's Ashton in 35 and Holder in 74, separated by about 2 or 3 car lengths. Then coming out of turn 4, Phillips has again closed on the race leader, Teddy Gibala. In turn 1, the leaders approach the 03 of Terry Schwartz, the female rookie competitor. Out of harm's way. Phillips lost about a car length there in moving around Schwartz. And now at the scoring line, 5 laps to go. Gibala, the only repeat winner, looking to become now the only 2-time consecutive winner for his 3rd win of the season, which would be in this crown jewel event for the Napa Street Stocks. Phillips had closed that advantage down to only about a car length a couple laps ago. Gibala has increased it after moving around the Schwartz car. Keep in mind, a caution flag would mean a double file restart with just 3 or 4 laps to go. Phillips may have gained a car length that time. Closes in just a little in turn 3, does Phillips. And now with 3 laps to go, it appears to be a 3 car length advantage for Gibala. Aiello has climbed into 5th, making the pass of Dustin Blank. But up front, the youngest driver in the street stock field, setting a blistering pace with 2 laps to go. And Gibala in car number 3, after his first win was a hard-fought victory. Last week, he had a dominating performance, winning his heat and obliterating the feature field. And here tonight in this extra distance event, running away from a former track champion, Shawn Phillips, here on the final lap. Coulter, Pennsylvania's Teddy Gibala in car number 3 out of turn 4 will win the biggest event of the season for the Napa Street Stocks over Shawn Phillips. Jason Holder crossing the line for 3rd over Bill Ashton and Scott Aiello. This car seems unstoppable these last 2 weeks. What did the extra 10 laps do to the tires on this hot, slick racetrack tonight?
Man, I was so loose. I could hardly even handle it coming out of the corners. I thought for sure he was going to get me sooner or later. I knew he was really right on me. I was actually scared he was going to get me.
You got to race with Shawn when he was a defending track champion here in 2009 just a bit. As one of the youngest drivers in this field, and tonight the youngest, have there been any of the drivers that you race with regularly that offered some help when you first decided to tackle Motordrome Speedway after a year at Jennerstown?
Oh, everybody came around and helped me, pretty much. I get a lot of support from all the drivers. They'll help me every week.
I think they should probably stop helping you at this point. How about a chance to thank the sponsors and crew that put in the help during the week here on Car 3?
I like to thank Singer Glass, E.H. Schwab, my dad, Gary, my mom, everybody that comes and supports me every week and all the fans.
An emotional victory lane for the biggest win of his career. Ladies and gentlemen, Teddy Gibala. In the backup, Benz Motorsports ride. Up front, Paul Urso and three-time champ Rick Miller lead us to the green for the Subway NASCAR Super Late Models 50-lap feature. Rick Miller takes the early lead from Paul Urso, who's now door-to-door with Steve Black. Chris Bailey Jr. sliding back just a bit as Mark Poole gains a position. Gary Wiltrout looks to gain a position around the youngster. It's Steve Black now in second. He has stolen the runner-up spot from Paul Urso. Here comes Mark Poole into third in car 96. Gary Wiltrout looking very stout in the outside lane. He's already passed Bailey, now passing front row starter Urso to the top side. Yet to complete that pass here in turn 4, now breaks free by a car length from the 37. Barry Audi in the 75 car, last week's winner from 13th on the grid. Here on lap 3, climbs into the 5th position. Bobby Henry with a shower of sparks into turn 3 from car 11. Something going amiss on the Palagrudo Motorsports entry. Unbelievable sparks coming out of that machine. He's just as fast as if there were no problem at all. He steals a spot away from Urso, and it seems to be the exhaust pounding the speedway. Henry could be receiving the black flag. Understand it's either a shock absorber or it's the exhaust, but we have a new race leader on lap 6. Steve Black has taken the lead from three-time Motordrome champ Rick Miller. Black is having the season of his career in the super late models. Top 3 finishes and top 5 finishes nearly every week. Last Friday night, his night ended in the outside retaining wall, his first serious miscue of 2010. Probably a mechanical woe that put the number 1 car into the wall. Nonetheless, a dismal offseason when he lost his corporate sponsorship. And now with help from Baker Race Cars of Akron, Ohio, Steve Black, the former truck division champion from Greensburg, is out in front as we have a caution flag. Bobby Henry stops on the back straight, unable to make it back to pit lane with that sparking problem from beneath the Stone End Company Scottdale Lumber Megan Ford. Host of outside invaders coming next week. Green flag is out. A very quick pace start by Steve Black. Black with a whole shot start, getting a 6-car length advantage over Rick Miller at the wave of the green flag, with Mark Poole in 3rd, Gary Wiltrout in 4th, and Barry Audi in 5th. 6th place right now, held by the Subway Eat Fresh Challenge driver Mark Catone. Now the battle is for 3rd. Gary Wiltrout moves to the inside of Mark Poole. Wiltrout's car has been speedy on the inside and the outside lane of this speedway all season long. And Rick Miller is off the pace and slowing in front of top 5 drivers. We got a caution flag as wisely chief starter Denny Carson saw that that car was off the pace. Leader is Steve Black. Again, a quick restart in turn 3 over Gary Wiltrout, Mark Poole, Barry Audi, and Mark Catone. Black has been to victory lane at Motordrome, never in the NASCAR Subway Super Late Models. He spent a season or 2 traveling with the Mid-Atlantic Asphalt Racing Alliance to speedways all over this region of the country. And a challenge now for 4th position, Mark Catone dives inside of Barry Audi as these 2 drivers fought hard for the victory 7 nights ago. And Catone, the defending champion, takes that spot away from last week's winner. Gary Wiltrout has now closed in just a bit on Steve Black. This could be Black's first challenge to defend since he wrestled the lead away from Rick Miller. Black in the quest for a first career victory in the NASCAR Subway Super Late Models. A A race car without sponsors for the first time in several seasons, as the Black Mountain Enterprises Baker Race Cars machine, as we will call it, without corporate sponsorship, now with a mirror full of Gary Wiltrout. Wiltrout in the Scottdale Lumber Stone End Company Megan Ford number 95, looking for his first win of 2010. And just a couple car lengths behind Wiltrout, it's winners on the season Mark Poole and repeat winner Mark Catone. Audi hangs on to fifth, working lap 15 of 50. And Catone seems to be set up for the low side of the speedway tonight. That car looked flawless through turns 1 and 2 last time. Poole drifts high in 4, and the battle for third will rage on into turn 1. Let's see if Catone can again be impressive in 1. And that car is hugging the inside lane on a slick racetrack. Poole comfortable in the middle of the speedway. And Catone down low, working lap 17. Hard to believe that even as they are battling for third, first and second place aren't running too far off from these veterans. Wiltrout in second, Steve Black the race leader. Oh, Gary Wiltrout nearly slid that race car as he dove into the rear bumper of Black. He jumped on the brakes to avoid contact and loses 3 car lengths. Wiltrout, who was praised for his clean driving after a 20-plus lap battle with Tommy Beck 2 events ago, showing there that he is again a clean driver as he spiked the brakes to avoid getting into the back bumper of Black's Toyota. Mark Poole in third spot. The Howard Concrete Pumping Donaldson Supply Chevrolet with a rear view mirror full of Mark Catone, the defending champ. Catone of McKeesport, driver of the Auto Express Transportation, Mama Pepino's Pizza 31. Mark Catone's handling is something to marvel on a slick racetrack. The way that car is holding the inside line, he's not yet been able to pass Mark Poole. And now Steve Black is running away from Gary Wiltrout. So it could be a battle between Wiltrout, Poole, and Catone, all for second spot before too long, while Steve Black is checking out on this field in the hopes of a first career win. Black in a Toyota-bodied Camry number 1, extending his advantage over Gary Wiltrout. Now the battle for third heats up again. Side by side, they come into 4. Mark Catone on the inside, Mark Poole on the outside. So many battles of the marks we've seen the past couple of seasons, and they're still door to door. The lap car of Dave Wiltsey will, if not before that, make this a single file battle. Will Catone have enough to charge around Poole before they reach the slower car? Clarksburg, West Virginia's Dave Wiltsey in car 28. A first full season of Motordrome competition for him. And Poole Catone goes single file around the young driver. Barry Audi still in 5th. Catone and Poole battle, the best on the speedway. And in one quick move, Catone has his best run on Poole. Look at the 31 car stick to the inside lane of this speedway. Poole with enough momentum on the high side to maintain the third spot for now. But in turn 4, Catone's strength on the inside allows him to complete the pass as we are working lap 26 of 50. Mark Catone now in third, Mark Poole in 4th. About half a straightaway in front of Catone's 31 car. Steve Black's lead has dwindled slightly as Wiltrout is reeling him in just a bit and the leaders approach lap traffic. the no-whack painting Bombardier Chevrolet number 7 of rookie Matt Gardner, going a lap down to Steve Black and now Gary Wiltrout. Wiltrout gained several car lengths that time in turn 3. Next car to go a lap down will be the feature-winning ride of opening night, the 51 of Todd Price. Shocking that the Frankie Day Oldies Show, Stoystown Auto Wreckers, D&D Office Plus machine will be a lap off the pace as Black and Wiltrout are flying around this half mile. Working lap number 31. Tommy Beck heads pit side in the 60 car. And now Black has clear racetrack for about another lap and a half before he will encounter the 64 of Michael Zombar. Great to see the Hunker, Pennsylvania resident back. Headed down the back straight, a challenge for 4th position. Barry Audi enters turn 3, very close to the inside of Mark Poole's 96. They are side by side in turn 4. This battle for 4th, they touch on the front straight. It is lap 33, and as a result of that little bump, Poole will, for the moment, hang on to 4th position. Audi again with a good run in 4. But now the lead battle heats up, out of turn 2 and headed down the back straight. Steve Black in car 1. Gary Wiltrout in 2nd spot. Wiltrout was able to look to the outside in turn 2 last lap. And now as we work lap number 35, will Wiltrout swing to the outside again? He does, but with no success this time, loses ground to Black. While Wiltrout gains ever so slightly on Steve Black, Mark Catone is gaining on both of them in 3rd spot, but Catone will clearly run out of laps unless there's a caution flag and not be able to make this a 3-car battle. In turns 1 and 2, Audi and Poole are back at it with heavy lap traffic. We're 3 wide. They split the cars of Todd Price and Joe Moose, and Poole maintains 4th spot. Action happening all over the speedway in this 50-lap NASCAR Subway Super Late Model main event. And that harrowing moment in turn 2 has now separated Poole and Audi by at least 2 car lengths, maybe 3. Brief drama there in that battle for the 4th position. Audi will close up just a bit again on Mark Poole, working lap 38. It would appear that Audi's car is faster the way he makes up those car lengths, but not able yet to get the run he needs to complete the pass. They're door to door again on the back straight. Black's lead over Wiltrout is increasing, so watching this battle head down the front straight, Audi by inches becomes the 4th place driver on lap 39, but Poole, with a full head of steam on the outside, takes that position right back. Now with just 10 laps to go, Poole looking to move treacherously outside that time in turn 4. Looked like Poole was just a little bit higher on the speedway than he had been, but he still makes it work, holding off Barry Audi, last week's winner. Audi in the Stoystown Auto Wrecking, Wheeler Brothers Chevrolet number 75, the former Clearfield and Jennerstown champion, now takes away officially the 4th position on lap 41. Race leaders now entering turn number 4. Wiltrout needs to gain about 4 car lengths if he wants to gather up his first trophy of 2010. Meanwhile, Steve Black, looking for a first career win, approaches the 17 of Chris Bailey Jr. Bailey backs off and heads to the inside, allowing the leaders to settle this one on their own. Catone continues to gain, but will not have enough time to make it a 3-car battle. With 7 laps to go, Steve Black holding an even interval over Wiltrout. Doesn't appear that Wiltrout is gaining or losing, and they are approaching the 83 of Joe Moose, the lapped car in turn 4. Move over flag is used, and Moose will pull to the inside. Wiltrout that time a gain of about 2 car lengths as Black had to negotiate the Moose 83 car at the worst possible spot of the corner. Now Wiltrout right under the spoiler of Black. They're approaching Dave Wiltsey's car 28, and then the Matt Gardner number 7. Wiltrout has been toying with the outside lane all night long. Black, meanwhile, getting a little out of his element to move around these lap cars, is playing into the hands of the former Motordrome champion in car 95. 4 laps to go. And the former truck division kingpin accelerates out of turn 2 for another car length and a half advantage over Wiltrout. Without major sponsorship, 2010 started on a down note for the Black Mountain Enterprises team. But now looking stout with 3 laps to go for a first career win in the Subway Super Late Models. Two laps to go, the signal given, and it looks like Wiltrout has an insurmountable 3 car lengths to make up in order to challenge for this win. Wiltrout got that car just a little bit sideways and now headed into turn 3. Wiltrout will gain just a little as the white flag is waving. The Toyota Camry of Steve Black in car number 1. Down the back straight a final time. Could it be a career first victory? Wiltrout in striking distance in turn 3, but out of turn 4, a first career win in the NASCAR Subway Super Late Models for Steve Black over Gary Wiltrout, Mark Catone. Barry Audi coming to the line for a 4th place finish. And the 96 of Mark Poole hanging on for 5th. Steve Black, this has been a long time coming. First question, how does it feel to be in victory lane?
Oh, it's great. It's just awesome.
Now let's talk about the scenario here. Not a likely win because over the winter, you lost your sponsorship. This would have looked like a dismal season to most anybody else, yet you persevered and here you are.
We just picked it up and here we go. We need to repeat this a few more times so we know it's not a fluke.
You earned the most points of any driver in the old truck division there back about 2007. What was the decision to move from the trucks to the super late models? It had to be a huge financial commitment. It had to be a huge learning curve. Tell us about that transition and the first time you competed in the NASCAR super late models.
Well, they decided to do away with the trucks and they were going to go to that second class of late model, and we built one, and they never did that class, so we had to move to the super lates. And it's a tough road. It takes a long time to get over here.
I told the fans about the year you spent traveling with the old MAARA series. It was noticeable that you learned a lot after getting out on the road. Did those experiences help you to adjust these cars better for hot, slick nights at the racetrack like this?
Absolutely. There's no better experience than experience itself. You have to go run and get the experience to be able to do this stuff.
And a chance to thank anybody that's helped to put this ride in victory lane for a first time tonight.
I want to thank my crew. The guys at the garage have been awesome. You know, they stick with me. They're always with me. Give Scott Baker a hand. He helped us this year. He's got us going fast. It's just awesome.
Having the year of his life, ladies and gentlemen, in victory lane of the NASCAR Subway Super Late Models, Steve Black. Coca-Cola Super Compacts, 4-cylinder action about to get underway with rookies on the front row. Green flag is out. Dakota Stambaugh and June Mihalik lead them to full speed. Mary Catherine Shimko wants to welcome Mount Vernon Bowl. Lenny, welcome to Motordrome Speedway. As Mary Catherine showing promise this season to perhaps be a feature winner on the heels of those 2 heat race wins, and we're 3 wide for second. 3 wide, Zerfoss, Knight, and Koffler the third. They've been 3 wide for nearly a third of a lap there. Mark Tringes in the 47 gets to be a part of that battle. 31 of Schwartz started deep in this field. He's right there for a top 5 position here on lap 2. Early race leader is Dakota Stambaugh, the rookie. He's only made a few starts, and he's got that number 9 car out in front. I believe this is a Cody Quarrick Racing entry, but I'm not 100% sure. Eugene Zerfoss, looking for his first win of the year, is in second. Got the veteran chasing the youngster up front with 3 of 15 laps in. Then it's Schwartz, then it's Tringes and Koffler Jr., last week's winner. And look who's chasing Koffler Jr., it's Koffler the third. Father and son battle developing here for about the 5th position as Eugene Zerfoss takes the lead from Stambaugh, who bounces off Knight. Green flag stays out. Zerfoss with a veteran move around the youngster there. Crystal Aller going a lap down to the race leaders. The 9 of Stambaugh now back to 3rd and maybe 4th as Tringes takes the 47 car inside. Stambaugh is now, after leading the early part of this event, in 4th, just in front of the side-by-side Kofflers. Junior on the outside, Koffler the 3rd on the inside. Oh, we got a problem in turn 3, a car facing the wrong direction. Ben Stahl in his second Motordrome start. Crossed up as the leaders are about to approach that area of the racetrack. Caution flag with 5 laps complete. Eugene Zerfoss the leader, Bill Schwartz in second, Mark Tringes third, then Stambaugh, Koffler, and Koffler. Challenge for 4th, Koffler Jr., last week's winner, marches to the inside of front row starter Dakota Stambaugh, takes that position away. Look up front, the veteran and the youngster bumper to bumper. Eugene Zerfoss, the hillbilly. Bill Schwartz, the kid. And Tringes gaining on their battle for the lead. Now Koffler Jr. in the 05 machine closes in on the 47 of Tringes using the high side of the speedway. A different car than he drove to victory lane last week. Last week it was a Cody Quarrick Dodge. This week it's a Pontiac Sunfire, which is actually his father's race car, I believe. Look at Zerfoss now pulling away from Schwartz. I think Zerfoss has more second place finishes this year than any other driver, and it's been to a host of youngsters. Working lap 9 of 15. And strangely, for the Coca-Cola Super Compacts, the racing is single file at the moment. Tringes closing in on Schwartz. That will be a battle for 2nd spot. Zerfoss just pulling away from these kids here at lap 10 of 15. Race leader Zerfoss, no stranger to victory lane, many times a winner at the Jennerstown Speedway. His brother Clifford, a longtime competitor and winner at Jennerstown Speedway, no longer competing in the Coca-Cola Super Compacts. So Eugene, the hillbilly, flying his family's flag alone for the last couple of seasons here at Motordrome. Two laps to go for the popular veteran to score a first win of 2010. Schwartz and Tringes not challenging one another as the top 5 are spaced out single file. White flag waving for the veteran from Augusta, Pennsylvania. So far this season, it doesn't seem like he has finished even one race outside the top 3 or 4, yet has not crossed the finish line first until tonight. Headed into turns 3 and 4, the final time. The popular driver known affectionately as the Hillbilly, Eugene Zerfoss, picks up the win over Bill Schwartz, Mark Trenches Jr., Paul Koffler Jr., and Paul Koffler III. You have been about the fastest car in this division all season long. Pretty close to it most weeks. Top 3 finishes, second place finishes. What did it take to finally get this ride into victory lane after coming so close all season long?
I don't know. A lot of praying, confidence. Every Saturday we take it home, put it on the jack stands. Just trying to find a miracle. The car is old, tired. The motor needs redone. It just takes so much. I mean, 2 years I've been waiting for this. It's been 2 years since last win. We come down here as a guest. I won the heat and the feature. Went back to Jennerstown, did the same. That was the last win for 2 years.
You have been so close so many times. It's got to be relieving to get here to victory lane, but I know in your days at Jennerstown, it was a lot of veteran guys racing door to door. Now it's a lot of much, much younger competitors. Are you giving these guys any advice and help when they roll their cars out on the speedway?
Quite a few I'm helping. I'm the grandpa in here, and I've been the longest, and I try to help. That's what the Hillbillies were about up Jennerstown, and it started here. Even Billy, everybody. I try to help them. You know, you run clean, you beat me, you beat me. That's just how I feel.
And how about a chance to thank the sponsors that have helped you to reach victory lane?
Oh, I got to thank Watkins Amco, Jenner's, Stoystown Auto. Thank you very much. Strazer Chiropractic, Milt's Auto, my mom and Mark. I got to thank the fans for supporting me and the ones that have stuck around. Thank you, guys. They've been asking and asking, when are you going to win again? And you can't tell them that. I got to thank my family, my wife, and my kids for putting up with me, because you don't win 2 years. You get a little grouchy and you don't know what's going on. The ride home every week, as soon as we hit the turnpike, the boy says, "What's the matter, Dad?" I'm thinking. I'm trying to figure out what to do to the car, and I'm just tickled.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen, returning to victory lane, the Hillbilly, Eugene Zerfoss.